Why are anime characters obsessed with sit-ups?
Yo dudes and dudettes, your friendly neighborhood JaxBlade is back with another video for y'all today. And Attack on Titan Season 4 is finally here, and yes, I've been waiting for this. And so of course, once I saw Zeke show up again, I just started to think in my head, like, what type of training schedule did this boy follow to get a body like that? Him and Eren, like, especially. I know they were both in the military, and Eren's adept at martial arts, so I thought it'd be fun to just break down what their training schedule will look like day after day, and also just, like, give you something comparable, so if you want to try it for yourself, you could do. Though when I do the real tough like the tunes for Eren, you're not gonna want to miss it. But before we do that, I think it's important that we take a look at how Eren's body has evolved over the course of the series from little boy to this grown man beast that we see today. And I know for people out there who've seen my channel before, this is a bit of a remastered re-upload of that video, but since that video was short, it's okay. I had to take that down for like some issues that was going on with it. So I decided to, like, instead of just, you know, let that video die, like re-upload it and re-add it to this thing. So if you've already seen this part, you can skip to right here, like, to get to the new stuff. But if you haven't seen it, enjoy this. And again, for people, because this is a remastered re-upload of this certain segment, would you mind hitting the like button and leaving a comment down below? It really helps the video get back out there and like really get that more traction going for it. And it sucks every time this happens because it's just like, why did this happen? So if you could do that for me, that would help me out so much just with the video. But onto that, let's get onto it. Yeah.
We start off the series with Eren Yeager being your average child, and nothing special about him besides the fact he would make any of these slashers proud with his kill tactics. He spends most of his days with his childhood friends getting into fights, sometimes winning and sometimes ending up like an ed boy after pulling a scam on the cultist. Then one day, out of nowhere, this big-ass anatomy and physiology book cover model shows up and lets a ton of ugly bastard section monsters loose to wreak havoc, and his mom was crushed and devoured, and thankfully not in the way of that aforementioned section. Eren becomes motivated and starts training with the Survey Corps to take down all these beasts. And if you want something in depth on how he trained, watch this video right here. I broke down all the fitness science and training of how Survey Corps soldiers worked out to fight the Titans, and also covered how that type of training would affect you in real life. Also, I have a playlist of various series, so subscribe, you'll never get bored here. After years of training with Survey Corps, from calisthenics to running and stabilizing for 3D maneuver gear, our boy grows up and is now a bit taller and a bit more toned before a leg day mishap F's him up and he receives some titanic gains.
You'll have the physique of Atlas.
Eren's Titan form gives him perfect proportional aesthetics and size that will make any level 4 fitness model swoon. And to know what level you are, click this video right here after you finish this video. But technically, as we found out later, this wasn't his original Titan form, as his original one was the living incarnate of what everyone looks like going to the fridge at 3 AM and grabbing that last slice of American cheese. So damn, puberty hit him like a dump truck. While his Titan form had some amazing gains, his human form began to change as well. And everyone swoons over Eren in Season 4 for this scene, but Eren had some pretty sick gains back in Season 3.
Like, do y'all not see the dude's abs here? Dude looks more ripped up than those freaking assholes that tried to kidnap Mikasa.
A combination of Titan fighting, in addition to the benefits of strengthening his core from all the 3D maneuver gear training, gave Eren an aesthetic Bruce Lee physique, in his human form at least. And then a few years later, he reached this body. But besides having genetics for an insane amount of abs, I mean, how many are there? Like 10? What the hell? Getting taller and letting his hair grow out while becoming full of edge. He didn't really change much from his Season 3 physique besides getting a little bit bigger. And so I think I'll stop right here so I don't spoil any stuff for non-manga readers, so you can enjoy Season 5 when that comes out.
Now let's look at both Eren and Zeke's bodies now. So I think that because they were raised in the military, they're probably going to have a very military set mindset for how they go about working out. Like if you've met a lot of military people, they have like this certain discipline and mindset for themselves depending on how they train. So I'd assume that they probably wake up at around like, you know, 7 or 8 or something like that, or probably earlier than that, and then just, you know, do some morning calisthenic routines. And with morning calisthenics, you know, the routine is just, you know, do your push-ups, get those sit-ups in, and get those, like, you know, pull-ups and stuff like that, and then like maybe do some like air squats or something. But you know, it depends on the situation. But I just want to say, like, so many anime characters are super obsessed with like sit-ups. Like it's always sit-ups. Like I have a joke on my channel called Anime God Makers, is when characters do push-ups and then they're able to beat gods and stuff like that. But like everyone just does sit-ups, and I'm just like, sit-ups are okay, but I feel like there's just so many better ab exercises. For example, if you want want to make a schedule for yourself, this is what I would recommend right here, so you could, you know, get those Eren gains for yourself. So these are a bunch of exercises that I assume they did. I'm not saying they did these, I'm just assuming that this would be a thing they would use, because it's functional and it looks like they have very nice triceps and chest. And also just these exercises in general seem like they would work. But I assume dips, because dips are great for building up the triceps, but also great functional, because it's like, oh crap, I gotta get out of here. Oh shit, pressing myself up, climbing up the building, pressing myself up, climbing up the building, you know, shit like that. So I assume they do it. They have really nice chests. They also have really nice, like, you know, arms. So I would assume dips would be a staple part of what they're doing. Next up, I'm pretty sure they would do pull-ups, because, you know, it's the military and pull-ups are one of the best things you can do for functional strength. So they probably did the standard grip where it's like this and you let yourself down and then pull yourself up, let yourself down. Both of them have very strong backs, so I wouldn't be surprised if they were doing this. So probably that way. But again, like, I know for people out there who may get elbow tendonitis, who are very prone to that, daily calisthenics and daily pull-ups is one of those things can unintentionally lead to that. So it's important to do your, you know, isolation movements. I did a video right here on what I talk about are the best exercises for preventing that. So what I recommend doing instead, I love gymnastic rings. And you see Eren and Zeke's back. Eren and Zeke have like very strong back muscles, and I think backs are like one of the best ways to punch harder and also just, you know, give that nice aesthetic. So what I recommend doing is get your rings, and then, you know, you can adjust when doing the pull-ups. That's the cool thing about it. Yeah, just adjusting, and then you can hold it. And also you can get like this grip tape to make it so it doesn't F up your hands or anything like that. But like, it's cool. Now, of course, what anime wouldn't have anime god makers, okay? I'm just saying. So, of course, they would do push-ups. Push-ups is just a mainstay in any adequate, you know, training program. So, they probably just, you know, do their basics, stuff like that. When they want to switch up the hand position, like that, go wide, like that, and just do various versions. I don't think they would do plyos, but they probably would, because they punch hard. And then, you know, maybe they'll do those Cobra Kai on the fists ones, build up that wrist strength to punch like that, or also just building up the knuckles, stuff like that. So a variety of exercises they'd probably be doing for themselves in that morning workout. For legs, I don't think they would skip leg day, but I think most of their leg training probably came from running or like walking everywhere they do, like all that functional stuff. But like, again, this is their military, so they probably did do squats, but they probably did some, like, you know, body weight squats where we put your hand behind your head and go down like that, you know, like that. That's what I'm assuming, but again, this is just a thing, because I'm not thinking they're doing like deadlifts and barbell back squats, okay? I just do not picture any of them doing that. Also, Eren and Zeke have very nice like shoulder muscles and stuff like that, but I don't think they're doing, you know, freestanding handstand push-ups like Goku and all that stuff. So they probably are just doing like, you know, pike push-ups. So like this, where they're just doing a pike push-up, you know, a basic thing. Now this one I know they probably didn't do, but I'm going to throw it in there anyways, because I think it's great for building up the back and also great for keeping your shoulder safe, like I mentioned. Now this one I don't think they did, but I'm just going to throw it in there anyways, because they have great backs, and this is a great calisthenic workout for the back, and I mean exercise. And like, also it's great for keeping your shoulder safe, because it helps retract and strengthen the rear delt and all that stuff. And all it is just bodyweight row. You can do it like this, like that. So to assume they do this on, like, you know, whatever bars they had, if they wanted to train, like if they were in jail, like that. Really great for building, and then, you know, make it harder, like that. I think that is probably something they probably did do, but it's just an assumption. For their shoulders, they probably, you know, did stuff like this, where you switch, Or like, you know, that sandbag press where you get the sandbag and then you just like press it out in front of you, stuff like that, you know, various things. That would be, you know, a much better shoulder workout in my opinion, for people who can't do the other things. Like, I think this is just great, and then you can like alter the weight. And then, like I said, for the abdominals, I think switching it out for the ones I showed instead of sit-ups would just work better. Also, I'm coming out with a full weighted follow along ab routine, so you can just do that when it comes out and try that. But that's my honest opinion of what they do. Of course, you know, later in the day they had to, you know, spar, or like, you know, do like some shadow boxing or something like that, or hit the bag, you know, all that stuff. Obviously, because, you know, they're fighters, they have to do that. And it also just helps with like their cardiovascular conditioning and, you know, making them leaner because they are doing all this extra activity. But I think like it would be fair to say that Eren practiced this stuff or sparred with, like, you know, people. Also, we can't forget that Zeke loved playing baseball, all right? That monkey loved to throw. So, of course, that's going to build up your body, too, if you play that consistently, because throwing is a great exercise. Like, if you're throwing a ball, you're working your arms, you're also working your core, and you're working a bunch of other muscles that you don't realize. Not to mention the fact that when doing baseball, you're probably running back and forth, like, you know, to the bases and all that stuff if he's playing with people. So, yeah, there is so much benefit to what Zeke is doing with that monkey throw. I think it's important that you realize just how active they are back in the day, because remember, this is a time frame where there is no PlayStation, no Xbox, no Nintendo, no freaking PC, no internet, no TV. So it's like, if you're not doing anything outside, then you're just pretty much wasting your life, okay? Like, so many times today we have so many distractions and stuff like that, while back then it's just like, oh, we can do variety of things. And I know they can go to like festivals and all that stuff, but they're constantly walking around, they're constantly running around, they're constantly riding bikes, riding horses, doing all this very just active activity. So you're just being super active when doing all this stuff. But just from the way they're built, they're not like mass beasts. It's just like I've talked about before, that genjutsu, where people will see someone who is like just lean and has some muscle and they'll be like, oh my god, they're freaking jacked as hell. But in reality, it's just like, no, he's just lean, has a good build to him, and that genjutsu of being lean makes you appear bigger. Even though they're drawn that way and can appear however they want, that's the whole thing. Because I remember I was seeing some people comment last season when Eren was freaking showing off his body, like, oh my god, when did Eren get as buff as Goku? And I'm just like, bruh, don't. But dudes and dudettes, I hope you enjoyed today's video. I hope you learned something. I hope this was able to give you a little thing if you want to follow along with for the new year, just to get some results. And remember, if you are watching Attack on Titan Season 4, tell me your favorite Titan shifter down in the comment section below. And if you made it this far in the video, type Titanic Gains. It lets me know who made it this far. And be sure to hit that like button again before my remastered and re-uploaded part, because it really does help me out tremendously. And hit that subscribe button. I have tons of videos coming. New Tough Like the Tunes coming later this month. Again, I'm working hard on it because I don't want them to just be like basic like they were before. Not saying they were basic. I love my baby, it's my series, but I just want to really improve them. And also my Would That Work Out is coming as well. So thank you so much. And also I'm working on a mega Spider-Man video like I did for my TMNT video. So y'all be sure to check that out as well. I hope you enjoy it. And remember, like I always say, keep calm, booyah on, and don't forget, Momentai. Hope you have a great new year, and let's get some Titanic gains together.